stand-ups. Glasses are fun. One or the other here. I'm all alone. I can pull the mask down, defog the glasses. Yeah, so these guys are doing their thing. Anyway, this is my zone while I work here. I got this ready to go. This is the kind of day it feels like it's gonna be like, maybe I want to go under that thing, right? Or through that thing. So on a day like this, I'm getting these guys ready to rock, not so much that guy. Probably not going to need all the speed today. And then of course, all those abandoned buildings, of course, I had to get into those a little bit. I didn't want to crash in there because I really didn't want to have to go in there and actually walk on those boards, which look pretty shady. So I was always doing my best to not go down in there, and I never did. Now this was Monterey, actually Carmel, and basically the guys are roaming around town here, and we did have police. They were not blocking traffic. They were just basically keeping an eye on everything. So you can see this car coming up. People were not looking out for the drone. They did not give a shit. So basically, you see the officer in the intersection there. You know, they'd let the guys turn around or whatever, but they're not keeping people from following us. So I'm basically just trying to get the best shots I can. I've lamented the fact that I didn't fly under the Jaguar there. That's Rob Corddry in his big old jacked up Jag. But it was, see that blue car back there? That guy is not with us, but he was constantly following these guys. He kept turning around, U-turning behind him. He kept coming up, almost bonking into the drone. So I was honestly afraid to go under because I thought that guy might end up just running over the drone. And then, yeah, sure enough, here comes Rob. And there's the guy in the blue car. So I couldn't go down and under. Now you see, again, the blue guy is right behind them, and he's going to make this U-turn with them. I think the cop maybe just assumed the guy was with us because he just was glued to their tail. Drove me nuts. So I started off down this road with him, and that guy ends up coming right under my drone. So I had to pull up and away. But yeah, this was really fun. Got lots of good shots. Setting up a really fun one here. Beautiful spot. It's Hollister Hills off-road area. It's like an old schoolhouse. The boys are scoping out their locations, camera positions. I'm getting rigged for some shots. So this bit right here is a good example of how GPS failsafe can bite you in the butt. You'll see I'm way down in this sort of ravine at the bottom is where I'm based. The road is on the left there, the dirt road going up through. And the cars are up at the top of this hill. So at this point, I'm really flying in a sketchy zone. And what I want to do is come up here, and then when the cars go, I want to follow them down this hill under this tree tunnel, basically. Now what you're going to see happen is they go, I start trying to chase, and I'm going to go forward and then dive into that tree tunnel. As soon as I start diving, my screen goes black. I completely lose signal right there. The drone starts doing its own thing, apparently. It pulls up and just starts beelining back towards where I am instead of going up, up, up. And unfortunately, straight into the top of this tree right here. So all I've got on my screen is black. I'm not seeing this view. So this is sometime later. Luckily, we were going to lunch. So instead of going to lunch, I went looking for my beeper sound, which I could hear, and I had to climb fairly far up this tree. This was the BangGod. So right about that time, I had gotten far enough up the tree to shake the branches, and I managed to shake it down, and it dropped most of the way down. Then I hopped down and came over and grabbed it where it was close enough to the ground at this point. Oh, always an adventure. Oof. So I had come way up this road, and unfortunately I was down behind the corner, so I lost signal and fail-safed into come home mode, and it launched apparently while underneath this tunnel of trees. It launched up into them and was about probably 40 feet up. My beeper saved me. I found it, centered it back up. You can see where it went into the tree. One of the props tried to keep going for a bit. That one sheared off. All right, we got the footage, it appears. All right, now I would like to show you what a successful run out here looked like. I set myself up in a crook off the side of the road, more sort of towards the top of that hill. And what's going to happen is the guys are going to come racing in from the bottom over across the valley there. That's the bottom area down there where I was set up previously. And so they're going to come ripping through, basically racing up this road. And everybody's going to be trying to get shots. There's going to be a couple of camera positions on this road. So I'm just launching generally in the window of time allowed, and then just waiting around to get myself in there and get the shot. So I'm going to kind of meander around here. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure which quad I was using here. I believe I was on the Geyser. But it's possible I was using the BangGod for this because I knew they were going to be going kind of fast. But from looking at the way I'm hovering around, can't really tell. Anyway, there they come. There's one of them. There's the other one. So I want to get both of them, or at least get the guy in the rear. So that's Dax, and so this is essentially like a drifting kind of chase run, but with a lot of obstacles and things going on. Really fun though, huh? And then boom, up and out the top. See him whip by those cameras, and then there's the shots over. There's all the crew vehicles at the top of the hill. So that was the run. It happens really fast, and I got actually a lot of that sequence got used in the show. So check that out. It was a really good, fun run right there. Now I'm just trying to basically get myself back in. You'll see where my position is here. And there's me. Come back in without breaking more props. Oh, terrible. Boy, you get all that good flying done and then you do a landing that bad, huh? So finishing up here, I ended up doing, actually on the way up there from San Luis Obispo, I decided to take the long way. I went up the PCH, knowing full well that it was blocked off at Big Sur, but I was hoping I could find a way to punch through the mountains, and didn't end up being able to, actually. I had to drive all the way back down to San Luis Obispo. But it was worth it for this shot right here, and also a lighthouse shot that I got along the way, which made it into the episode. Just that California coastline is something to behold. So these are Inspire 2 shots. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.